Holy Gospel according to St. Luke, the 7th chapter. After Jesus had finished all his sayings in the hearing of the people, he entered Capernaum. A centurion there had a slave whom he valued highly, and who was ill and close to death. When he heard about Jesus, he sent some Jewish elders to him, asking Jesus to come and heal his slave. When they came to Jesus, they appealed to him earnestly, saying, "He is worthy of having you do this for him, for he loves our people, and it is he who built our synagogue for us." And Jesus went with them. But when he was not far from the house, the centurion sent friends to say to him, "Lord, do not trouble yourself, for I am not worthy to have you come under my roof. Therefore I did not presume to come to you. But only speak the word, and let my servant be healed. For I also am a man set under authority, with soldiers under me. And I say to one, 'Go,' and he goes. And I say to another, 'Come,' and he comes. And to my slave, 'Do this,' and the slave does it." When Jesus heard this, he was amazed at him, and turning to the crowd that followed him, he said, "I tell you, not even in Israel have I found such faith." When those who had been sent returned to the house, they found the slave in good health. This is the gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, O Christ.
You may be seated.
This interaction between Jesus and the centurion, although a completely indirect interaction, is still very powerful to us. The centurion is a man of remarkable faith. He understands at a level that most of the Jews don't who Jesus really is as he enters Capernaum. First of all, he knows that Jesus is capable of healing his servant. But above that, he also knows that he is not worthy of having Jesus enter his house. And he goes so far as to say, "Just speak the words and heal him from a distance." It took a remarkable amount of wisdom and faith on the part of the centurion to understand that Jesus could speak healing into being. Most of the Israelites believed that they had to get close to Jesus, that Jesus had to come to them, that he had to touch them in order for them to experience his grace, his healing love. And here is the centurion who understands that Jesus is the Lord, he is God on earth, and no matter what he says, it will be done. Very interesting dichotomy between the centurion, a Roman soldier, and the devout Jews of Israel. It is the Roman soldier who understands so much more how powerful Jesus really is, who he really is. Just say the words, and it shall be done. And of course it is. Jesus does not only reward the centurion's faith with the healing of his servant, he rewards him verbally, raising him up to the others as a man of great faith. The centurion is an interesting fellow. Don't lose sight of what else he says. that he is one who can command great armies. That he simply tells people what to do, and it is done. No questions asked. For him to see Jesus in that light, as one who could literally just say, "Do this, and it will be done," shows how much he truly understood who Jesus really was. It is quite amazing. The other part of this gospel that is amazing to us is that it is the devout Jews who come to Jesus and make the case for him to go heal the centurion's slave. Really, centurions, Roman soldiers, and the Jews were not friends. And yet, it is the devout Jews who go to Jesus and say, "He is worthy." And it is the centurion who in turn sends his friends to Jesus and says, "No, I'm not." The humility that is shown by the centurion should be raised up as well. You know, I think in some ways, the Jews of that day saw Jesus as this simple miracle worker at their dispense. If they went to him and asked for something and he liked them enough, they got the candy that they were hoping for. And then here's the centurion who shows incredible humility, shows incredible faith in the power of Christ as God incarnate on earth. Interesting. The people who were with Jesus every single day were taking him for granted. And this centurion, living outside of that culture, was the one who truly understood who Jesus was. Where do we fit into this story? Who are we? Are we the devout religious ones who believe that if we just ask Jesus and make the right case, we'll get what we want? Or are we the centurion, the one who humbly kneels and says to Christ, "I am not worthy, but I know that you are all-powerful. I know that you do what is right. Whatever it is, Lord, speak it, and it will be so." Who are we in this story? And who do we want to be in this story? Quite frankly, we spend an awful lot of time, especially this year, as a nation, judging, proclaiming ourselves as right, deciding who is worthy and who is not worthy. And the truth is, we should be the centurion, the one who simply said, "None of us are worthy. But Lord, I know who you are. Speak. And whatever you speak, it will happen." At some level, the lesson in this gospel for us is to humble ourselves. Very simply humble ourselves. Get back to the basics. The understanding that Jesus is God incarnate, that he loves, that he is all-powerful, and that if we simply call upon his name, he will care for us. We don't need to prove anything. It's grace. We need to be the centurion. The one who, even though he had all the authority given to him in Rome to run the Israelites near Jerusalem and Capernaum, still saw himself as humble before the Lord. This man of great power, who could literally walk into any city square and say, "Do this," and everybody would just get up and go do it. This man of such authority understood his place before God. Do we? Do we understand our place before God? It's a fair question. We can't prove ourselves worthy before God, because guess what? We're going to lose that one every time. And yet, we're loved, regardless. The centurion got it. He wasn't trying to prove himself worthy enough of the blessing. Instead, he was simply showing great faith and saying, "I know I'm not worthy. I'm not even worthy to host you in my home. Still, I know you love. Still, I know your grace. And thus, just say the word and let it be." Ironic, isn't it? The centurion, with all the governmental authority that he had, was the humble one. And the religious leaders, they were the ones with greed in their hearts. Be the centurion. Know God's grace is always with you. Know that you don't have to prove your worth in order to receive that grace. And humbly call upon the Lord, knowing his love and his grace, that he will always care for you. Thanks be to God for humility, for grace, and for the incredibly strong healing power of Christ. Amen.